Hello there, everyone. So, what's up with all these maps? Do we really need all these maps? Do we really need all these maps? I don't know. Everybody has smartphones. Everybody has all the navigational apps on their phone, like Guthook, Gaia, AllTrails, Basemap, the hiking project from the REI one. I think that's the only one if you don't have to pay for. The rest, if you upgrade, you do have to pay for. So with all those apps on your phone and all that navigation, why do you need any of these maps? I mean, basically these are the whole, pretty much the southeast of the United States that I have here. But say, for example, the rain or the weather or something does something to your phone, screws it all up. Or if your battery runs out, your battery backups run out, you could lose those apps. If you lost your phone, you dropped it, lost it along the way, you have no more phone with you. Or you dropped it off a cliff, or dropped it in a stream, or in a river, or in a lake. Or if there was a high altitude electromagnetic pulse explosion. It could happen. It could happen. High altitude electromagnetic pulse explosion. It could happen. It could happen. But anyway, 90% of those things, maybe even 95% of those things would never happen. So your phone would be adequate ways for navigation. Especially if you're with a partner or somebody else that has a phone also and also has the same similar navigation on it, so the odds are better in your favor. But what if you're hiking solo? What if you're separated from that person and some of these things happen? I love maps, so I guess that's what this is all about. I do love maps. My God, I'll carry one of these maps with me. They're waterproof, they're tear-proof, and oh my God, they weigh a whopping 3.4 ounces. Let me show you. And if that 3.4 ounces really weighs you down, maybe consider just copying a section of the map that you want and just bring that page with you in some kind of waterproof bag. But other than that, like I said, I love maps, and not just for this navigational purpose, but let me show you some other things that I love about maps. I do want to tell you though that I'm no expert on these maps. I know the very, very basics of reading these topographical maps. So again, hey, let's go inside and take a look at some of these maps, and let me show you other reasons why you would want to get some of these maps just for any upcoming trip that you may want. Let me start off by saying that I hope there's not a lot of glare here on my dining room table, but these are some of the maps that I have, and these are the southeast section. A lot of them are up and around the Appalachian Trail, but you know, we've got Brasstown Ball, Chattooga River, we've got the Nantahala and Colusa Gorges, got Springer Mountain and the Cohotas, Fontana and Hiawassee Lakes, Tellico and Ocoee Rivers, and of course one of my favorites, the Great Smoky Mountains. Now these are trail illustrated topographical maps, and again, like I said, I'm no expert on these. I do know some of the basics, and I like using them. And so let's go ahead. Oh, first of all, let me show you, say, on the back of these. On the very back of these, other than, and I'll get into the legends, but you can see, and of course there's that glare, of course you can see that this is that particular one. This is the number, and it's number 778. This, of course, is down along the border of South Carolina, Georgia, and Tennessee, I think. But that's around the Chattooga River area. But each one of these maps, and I think I have everything up to around this in this whole section in here, but every one of them has a separate number. So, and each one corresponds with the number over in the side here, which tells you what the map number is. Now, this is pretty much the East Coast, all up and down the Appalachian Trail and all the side trips from Cherokee to all the way north. But it's not only there. These National Nat Geo topographical trail maps, they're all over the world, and especially all over the country here. You can get them out west, Colorado. You know, there may be other maps that are better for certain trails. Like, for example, when I was out on the John Muir Trail, I found, I think it was called the Thompson maps. They were individual, again, tear-proof, waterproof maps that were much better than probably this Nat Geo map. But if this is all you had, it would have worked. So anyway, let's get into one of these, and I'll show you what they're like. Whether it's raining, snowing, pouring. Whatever, you can come in the comfort of your home, sit down and make a plan for your trail. So the map comes in either, you'll see on both sides, this one in particular will have a south side of the map and the other side will be the north side of the map. There are activity guides showing you each trail, each area, what they have. There's longitude and latitude lines showing all up and down. I don't use them that often. And there are numerous legends down here will tell you all the different points. For example, visitor information, campgrounds, trails. It'll tell you the different types of trails. Like, for example, the black dotted, which would be, excuse me, let's say, for example, down here, let's pick something here. This is in this is Cherokee National, but this is a Big Frog Wilderness. And say, for example, I wanted to do a loop trail. I wanted to go park somewhere. I look for a parking spot. I'll look there. I may start at that trailhead and work my way around to a loop to maybe come back to that one, or start at that parking spot and work my way around. So here's trail number 64. Say that, for example. So now you go up to the legend and you look for trail number 64. Of course, that's the Big Frog. It tells you the location on the map. It tells you the distance of that particular number, not the whole loop, but that particular number. It'll say it's a moderate, and this here will also tell you if it has blazes, which this doesn't, and it shows you right here it's for hikers only. You can come down and you can see there's some for hikers, horseback riders, bicycles, motor vehicles. I tend to stay away from them, and they do color code those also on the side to let you know that. So you can take one of these maps in the comfort of your home and go ahead and plan loop trails if you're going out solo. Or you can, like here in the Cohota area, there's different trails that I know of that are loop trails that intersect with trails like the Benton MacKaye or the Pahoti Trail or even the AT. And these maps are very helpful. Other than that, there's just so many useful tips and so many different things on it. I would say that before I go on any trip, I usually break these maps out at least once, twice, if not 3 times. Go over my loop trail. Try to read, that some of the topographical areas of the map will show you the contour lines of the mountains, and you'll be able to see, well, you got some elevation there, or a peak of a mountain, for example. And this particular one really doesn't have it that much, but let me go to another map. My favorite map of them all is, of course, the Great Smoky Mountain one. This would be map number 229. And I spend a lot of time in the Smoky Mountains, and this one is well used. I bring this with me, and you can see I've had it in the rain and everything, and it's still in really good condition. I'll put a link to how you can get these maps down below. Once you get to a link, you can type in Trails Illustrated, Nat, you don't even have to go National Geographic, just go Nat Geo, Trail Illustrated, and type in what you want, Great Smoky Mountains, Colorado Trail, you name it. Whatever that trail is or that area, chances are that map will come up and it'll have the corresponding number of the map on it. And of course, like I said before, you can go on the back and save yourself a lot of time once you get one map in the area and kind of figure out which one of those that you want. So let's go ahead and let me show you why I really do like the Smoky Mountain one, the number 229. Okay, this is the map for the Great Smoky Mountains. It's map number 229. This particular one gives you campsites, elevation, and all that good information. What I really like about this map is it corresponds with the, is it recreational.gov or just the Smoky Mountains, Great Smoky Mountain National Park website where you make your reservation for the campsites. So this map has every one of those campsites on it. Say for example, we did a trip recently from we went into Bryson City. We parked a car over at Smokemont and got a shuttle over to Deep Creek. We followed, what was it? Where we followed? Oh yeah, Deep Creek Trail. And that first night we had options, but we didn't really have options because we had to reserve it. But I'm pretty sure we stayed in campsite 58. That was a 4-night trip, so we worked our way up around the Bent McKay, all the way up to the Appalachian Trail to Charlie's Bunyan. But every one of those corresponding, so when you go to reserve them, you'll see on this map every single one of those campsites that are in the National Smoky Mountain National Forest website that you had to reserve. So it was really beneficial for us. I had copies of this. Of course, there was 3 of us there. We all had GPSs and all that. I did break the map out a couple times just for our own knowledge, and I think we ended up somewhere around Smokemont. We did end up at Smokemont. Yep, there it is right there. We came down from the Appalachian Trail down Dry Sleuth to Bradley Fork, which I was at Cabin Flats campsite, and I just did a recent trip to there, all the way down to where our other car was parked at the Smokemont campground. So these maps are very handy. I definitely think that even when you're not on the trail, that they're the type of map that you can just sit around and plan your trip and just imagine, you know, these are the places that you're going to go. It's a lot of fun, and I highly recommend these maps. So that's it. Thanks, guys. I had to come back real quick because I thought this was real important. On these maps also, along these trails, you'll be able to find your water sources, whether they're streams, brooks, creeks, lakes, or whatever. And when you're planning your trip, that's really important to know where your water sources are. Well, that's just my opinion on maps. Do I feel that you should carry a map with you when you're hiking? Personally, yes, absolutely. To me, it's a sure way for a plan B if anything ever happens, especially if you're hiking alone, or if you're out with a group and you're the one that they're relying on as the expert to make sure that everybody's safe. Bring a map with you. It's not a big effort. And you know what? I'm going to be going on a trip here probably in the next few weeks, 2 weeks, and it'll probably be it's going to be a solo trip, and it's probably going to be about 3 nights, 2 or 3 nights. But I'm going to pick one of these maps, and I'm going to find myself a trail. I may just bring them all up there because, you know, leaving here from Florida, once you get up north of Florida, your options are you can go anywhere you want. So maybe I'll make a last minute decision or drive up to some of these areas and say, hey, this looks good, I'm in the woods. No pressure, just take it from there. So anyway, guys, I hope you got something out of this video. I appreciate it, and stay tuned for that trip. And if you would, hit that subscribe button. And again, thanks for following Walker's World. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.